This is episode 630, and today we're going to be talking about 7 mental blocks that may or may not be limiting your success. Being successful, however you define that, is much more about your beliefs than it's about your current skills or talents, right? Our beliefs drive our behaviors, and even if we have a good skill or talent, if our beliefs hold us back, then they're going to hold us back from our success. If we go look at the basic formula, thoughts lead to feelings, lead to actions, lead to results. Well, what leads to the thoughts? And that's the beliefs. So when we can start working at the level of beliefs, we can then change that around so we be more prepared, better prepared for success. Recognizing that mental blocks that limit your success might be the most, and I would say it is the most important step you can take on your journey to a successful life. If you keep hitting your head against the wall and keep things happening, I mean, you look at your life, and here's a great question I ask clients is, what do you want? And whether it could be a promotion, it could be financial, what do you want? What's stopping you from having it? 99% of the time, it's you boil that excuse down or that reason down, it's a limiting belief. So changing your limiting belief will have a huge, huge effect on your emotions, on your actions, hence your results. You know, they're insidious. They're like little demons inside our head, these mental blocks. And they start out small and then they fester and then they grow and we just become used to them. We go, oh, that's just normal for the way we think. We don't even question them because they started out maybe when we were 1, 2, 5, 7, 10 years old, but they just grow slowly, 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 and it's just annoying. They're insidious, right? They begin at a very young age and then they quickly germinate. And as the more we are maturing and we don't challenge that limiting belief, but actually we do things to support it, the harder it's going to be to pull it up from its roots. We become so used to their existence that we fail to question them, right? It's just like this is normal. This is the matrix. This is where we are. But then we look at other people who are very similar age or very similar talents, very similar things, and they're living a completely different life than we are. What's the big difference? It's in the mind. So, we learn to limit ourselves and blindly accept the criticisms of our family members, teachers, peers, even strangers, right? This is the way life is, and we don't even question it. And that has the belief that we don't and the belief that we shouldn't question the beliefs is the biggest belief that's holding us back. So here's a couple of 7 of them that you may want to take a look at, write down, contemplate on, reflect on, journal on. Your self-doubt is limiting your ability to take action, whether you call it lack of confidence, whether you call it assertiveness, whatever. But when we doubt ourselves, are we doing the right thing? Am I good enough? I don't know everything now. When we have this doubt, it's like an anchor that's tied to our waist and that we just can't move on. And right. It's not that we physically can't do what we're trying to do, whether it's in the gym, write a book, call up a client, but it's the doubt, right? It's mental. It's invisible. The power of the invisible thought of self-doubt is stopping you from taking action. Think about it. I mean, you're not against a physical wall that's stopping you. You're in a mental wall that's stopping you. Consider that. The invisible is holding you back from creating the visible. You refuse to get or accept help from others, whether it's a coach, friend, mentor, somebody you're like, you know what? I don't need any help. I'll do it myself. I've been doing it this way for 25 years and I'll continue to do it. Well, it's called fixed mindset, and you're going to keep getting the same results. You think, Einstein said something to the nature of you can't solve a problem with the same thinking that created it. So we have a problem, we go, oh, I'll figure it out. Well, how can you figure it out unless you change your thinking? Part of changing your thinking is to elicit the assistance from a coach, from friends, from family member to challenge you on your thinking, to push you to think differently, to think out of the box, to think out of your complacent zone. All of these things are important. But when you refuse and have this fixed mindset, you might as well kiss your success goodbye. You think you lack the necessary education. Well, I don't know enough, right? I don't have a college degree. I don't have a high school degree. I don't have this degree. I don't have that. I need more training. I need more this. I need more that. That's just, again, get back to lack of self confidence. Depending on what you are doing, you have the necessary knowledge. Not necessarily education may come from a school, but knowledge can come from books, tapes, mentors, other things. So if you lack a skill, learn it. If you think you don't know enough from an education perspective, prove yourself wrong. Find all the times in your life where you accomplished something from the minuscule to the major where most people would say, hey, you didn't have an education. You shouldn't have been able to do that. When you think you don't have the necessary education, prove yourself wrong that you don't need the education. You think your competitors, quote unquote, are better than you. That could be in a sporting event, that could be in a sales event, that could be at work where you're trying for a promotion, whatever that is. You think somebody else is better than you. And that will limit our success. Again, these thoughts are like anchors that hold us back. They hold us back from reaching our greatness. And we're playing small. When we think, oh, they're better than me, quit playing the victim, right? Quit playing the victim and putting other people up on a pedestal. It doesn't matter who they are. It only matters that you are fully engaged in who you truly are. And better is all subjective. Better than what? Better than in education, better in love, better in romance, better in that. When you think that somebody is better than you, it's such a generalization that it just satisfies your desire not to take action, which is another belief there, right? All of these are excuses not to take action for low self-esteem, but that's another podcast altogether. Next, you believe that your goals aren't achievable. Then why set them? Right? If they came into your mind, the universe gave them to you, they're achievable. You look at so many things that mankind has achieved, going to the moon, all these, that's the typical one that's used, but it's true. Before then, we thought it was impossible. Columbus or whomever else went, thought the world was flat. Well, it's not flat, it's round. All of these things aren't achievable. The Wright brothers, all of them. Yes, and every day we have breakthroughs in things that we just thought weren't achievable. So if you think your goals aren't achievable, I dare you to find somebody, two people, three people that have achieved exactly what you want, which means that your goals are achievable. It's your belief that's holding you back from achieving them. And again, it doesn't matter if you want to be a a millionaire with real estate. Look at people; they have it. You just need to find the people who have done what you want to discount that limiting belief. You're afraid to see your truth, whether it's through virtues, values, Enneagram, character strengths. That is your truth. That is who you are at the core essence. And when you put on this massive personality, you're hiding out from your true self. And again, that could be your virtues, your values, your character strengths, all of those put together, your archetypes, your enneagrams. When you can embrace those and go, this is who I am, and this is how I'm going to show up in the world. I'm not going to show up like anybody else. I'm not going to show up with other people. I'm going to show up as me. When you can embrace that, embrace your truth and take action based on your truth, you will be right there on the road to success, however you define it. And finally, you believe you lack the necessary time and money. Time and money, it's one of those things that we can't manage time. Time's invisible, but what you can do is manage your focus. So when you say you want to achieve success, you focus on that. You have the time, you just don't have the focus. So you focus on it, and the money, there are always ways of using other people's money. There are other ways of doing sweat equity. That includes, for physical stuff like homes, refurbishing homes, or building your own website, or reading books. You can go to the library to read books. There's so many ways that you can boycott the excuse of time and money. And that's just a simple, easy one that people throw out there to make themselves feel good, to so that they can pat themselves in the back. Well, I would try it if I had more time. I would try it. No, you wouldn't. If you had more time and more money, you'd find some other lame brain excuse. So throw the time and money out the window. All of these are excuses. All of these are mental blocks. They all come down to, do you believe in yourself or not? And if you do, you'll get rid of these. If you don't, you'll keep and hold on to them. So keep in mind, mental blocks are common. Everybody has them. I have them. Everybody has them. But you'll notice the most successful people have fewer mental blocks than others. And you will see they will have mental blocks in some areas of their life, and the parts that you want to be successful in, they will have less mental blocks. You have the powerful ability to succeed if you just enhance your mental state. And this is kind of my specialty, right? Is developing that mental strength of a warrior. You need to focus on it. Throw out all excuses. Start with a blank slate. What do you want? How are you going to get it? And then work with a coach, work with me in neutralizing all of those silly limiting beliefs. Examine yourself for the most common success blockers. And they're very easy, very easy. If I just ask you, what do you want? Why don't you have it? Boom, there you go. Those are all your success blockers. And then once you're able to recognize them, you'll then be able to address them. So if you don't work with me, if you don't work with a coach, write down, what do you want? Why don't you have it? And then find solutions for that, because those are all limiting beliefs. So if you like this podcast and want to see the show notes, please bump over to warriormindcoach.com. While you're over there, you can listen to other podcasts, read some blog posts, find out how to contact me. And since you'll be on the internet, please follow me on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest under Warrior Mind Coach.